Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my birthday perfume haul. Birthday perfume haul, collective haul, first haul of 2023. Perfumes I'm looking forward to playing with in spring. All of that wrapped up into one. But we only have 8 fragrances, full bottle fragrances to go over, and 2 travels, and then a discovery set. I am going to be popping in here editing Becky because one fragrance in a travel didn't make it on time. Since filming that, we actually have 3 bottles, 1 travel, and a body mist. So you'll see me again further down the road. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit more chatty, so if you want to grab a drink, grab a snack. But let's go ahead and get into the video. I'll go in the order that I tested these out, because this isn't my first purchase of 2023. But the first fragrance that arrived to my doorstep was Marc Jacobs Perfect, and this is the Eau de Toilette. This does smell a lot like the original. I prefer the original. Check out my review. I just did it. I'll have that. I don't know which one's going up first, but eventually it'll be linked down below. I wish I got the scent of the original in this bottle because I love the color blue, especially aquamarine. That is my birthstone, and this bottle just reminds me of like the beautiful blue ocean and just that aquamarine color. So I do have both on because, again, I just filmed that video, but we're going to refresh with just this one because honestly they smell so much alike. Again, I want you to check out my video if you want a little bit more details on what the differences are. So that is Marc Jacobs, the Eau de Toilette. All right, next is my first purchase. That is Atelier This Ours Pink Me Up. So I was so happy that I didn't jump the gun and buy this right away at full price, which I believe was like $2.30, and then with shipping. And I knew it was gonna get to fragrance buy, and it did, and it sold out. So I missed the first round, but I'm glad I waited because I then got 10% off, and I got this one for like $160. And if you guys saw, because I did talk about this in a video, I wasn't the biggest fan of this fragrance. So when this fragrance came in, it was the same day that I was leaving to the airport, and I knew it was coming. Like, I kept tracking it, and I wanted to wear it on my way to Puerto Rico, which I know that sometimes you have to let a fragrance sit, but I wanted to try it out as soon as it came in. So it came in, I slapped it on, and right away I'm like, no, this smells like lemon cleaner on my skin. And I thought I was gonna end up like selling this right away, but the more and more I wear this scent, the more and more I do enjoy it. They list champagne in this one, orange blossom. This one has blackberry, champagne, rose, orange blossom, bergamot, musk, iris, patchouli. I don't get a lot of the notes. What I get the most is this has a very champagne feel to it. Like, I don't smell this and think of necessarily champagne. I do if I'm smelling it through the nozzle, but when I spray this, I get the blackberry. It comes off a little bit more raspberry to my nose, and I get the bergamot, but it comes off a little bit more like lemon. So this, to me, with that champagne note, with the combination of the orange blossom, the bergamot, and the blackberry, this smells like a very realistic raspberry lemonade in the opening. And then I don't know what it is that almost in the dry down, the champagne kind of bubbly, effervescent feeling of champagne goes away, and then the raspberry lemonade that I get, because again they don't list lemonade in the note or raspberry, it becomes a little thicker, almost reminding me of like the jelly filling in a macaron. And I had mentioned that when I had talked about this fragrance before, that in the dry down, I don't know if it's the iris because it doesn't come off powdery, but there's just something making this a little thicker in the dry down to my nose. I get more of the orange blossom, but it's blended very well in here, but it is giving it a little bit of a kind of sugary sweetness. And I don't really get like a overly rosy fragrance. Like, I wouldn't be able to pick out rose. I can pick out the orange blossom, and it's borderline annoying, but not. Sometimes if it's sugary sweet, it can be a little bothersome to my nose, but it is blended a little bit better in this one. But it does add that kind of sugary sweetness that I think is adding to that raspberry lemonade that I get in the opening. So it is one that I've been enjoying and craving, and I think it will work really nicely in warmer weather. I wore it the other day with Boom Boom Cream by Sol de Janeiro, and that was a really nice combination, as well as AMBRE BIJOU's, I don't know if it's Lemon Dream, I think that's the name of it. I don't know if she still has that one, but her lemon scented lotion with this one made it really nice. It kind of gave me a summery Lyra vibe when I kind of mixed them. So again, that is Atelier de Source Pink Mia. Okay, and then I did pick up 2 travels. One of them I ended up exchanging, which I'm still waiting for that to come in. I'm gonna pop that clip in. Hopefully it will get here in time. But I also picked up Floral Street's Sunflower Pop. And I didn't realize, like, I saw the notes on this a long time ago and knew that I wanted to try this eventually, but I forgot that this had a Bellini note. Like, when I smell this, this smells, if you've ever had a Bellini, this smells like that. Now I will say that the Bellini, if you overspray, can get a little sharp. This one has passion fruit, mandarin orange, bergamot, Bellini, orris, there's honey, musk, amber. I don't get a lot of these notes. I get the citrusy opening, like the combination of the mandarin and the passion fruit, and then the bergamot. And I get the Bellini, and I get a muskiness from this one. There might be a little bit of a warmth to this in the dry down that's coming from the amber, but I would have to play with it just a little bit more, because I did get this one and I tried it out the first day, and then I kind of started playing with some of my other fragrances. So I do want to play with this one some more and report back. But this I knew was going to be my kind of scent, just because it was like a citrus, fresh, but it's a true Bellini fragrance, where this one gave me the feeling of champagne, that kind of effervescent, bubbly feeling. But I wouldn't smell this and say, oh, I pick up on a champagne note. This smells like a Bellini or another kind of fruity cocktail. This one is really nice, but test it out, because I know a lot of citrus fragrances can come off very lemon cleaner, and I can see that happening on some people's skin. Okay, and then next we have a couple from YSL. We have Black Opium Neon, and we have Black Opium Illicit Green. Now, Neon was one that I had on my radar after watching Ange 50 Cent UK. She had talked about this being the fruitier version, and then my girl Rebecca kind of talked me into getting Illicit Green. I thought I was going to enjoy Neon more, but I actually prefer Illicit Green. So Black Opium, I'm hoping in warmer weather I'm going to get more of the dragon fruit and the fruity notes that are in here. But right now I am getting an orange blossom jasmine combo. Like, that's what I'm getting most in this fragrance. Yeah, the orange blossom is a little bit more of a bitter orange blossom, and then the jasmine's like a very clean jasmine. And then I am getting that kind of vanilla coffee combo. I will say that the coffee to my nose and the Black Opiums are more of a bitter black coffee. They're not that sugary sweet to my nose. I know to some people they are. Maybe they're getting a little bit more of the vanilla, but I get a bitter dark coffee. So I don't really get the dragon fruit or any of the other fruity notes that are listed in this one. For me, this is a very floral fragrance in the opening, and then it settles to kind of a vanilla, slightly coffee. Again, it's very, very faint to my nose scent. Now, I did get these in cooler weather, so I'm going to play with them a little bit more. So I'll have to report back on this one, but again, that's Black Opium Neon. And then Illicit Green, this one actually surprised me because I really like the note of fig. I've talked about it before that to my nose, whenever fig is in a perfume, it comes off very coconutty to my nose. Now, I'm not saying it smells exactly like coconut. That's why I say like coconutty. It just has this like tonic, nutty feeling to me when it's the fig. And then there's fig leaf. That one's a little bit more green. So I do believe this one has both fig leaf and fig. This has a greenness in the dry down to me. I get that same orange blossom jasmine combo, but it's toned down a lot in this one. And then I get that vanilla coffee in the base. But for me, what I get a lot is the fig that's in here. And I really like it. I think this is going to be nice for summer. Because again, I don't know what it is about fig. It just gives me that kind of like tonic, nutty feeling. So I'm going to play with this one a little bit more and then I'll report back. But this again is Black Opium Illicit Green. Okay, then next we have Valentino, Donna Born, and Roma Intense. And I've already talked about this one twice. So I'll have both my videos linked down below. My layering video with this one, my fragrances that are perfect transitioning fragrances from winter to spring. And I also did a first impressions. And it's pretty much the same way that I feel. But my love for this fragrance isn't this fragrance on its own. This fragrance has just been so good for layering that I don't care. That's what this fragrance is going to be for. This fragrance, just when I want to wear my Sol de Janeiro's Boom Boom Cream and I spray this with it, amazing. And then I spray the mist on top of it, gorgeous. This with the other Valentinos, perfect. So this is going to be a layering staple for me. And I have fragrances like that. So check out my video where I go over some combos with this one. But this again is Valentino, Donna Born, and Roma Intense. All right, and then next we have Carolina Herrera's Good Girl Blush. And this was love at first sniff. But then it dried down and I was like, I have this fragrance. So this opened up like a very springtime version of Very Good Girl Glam. I got a sour rose in the opening, kind of like I get a sour cherry rose from Very Good Girl Glam. I got a sourness from this one, and then I got the rose, but it was more of a pink rose because of the peony. This isn't overly peony, like I have other fragrances with peony in it and I pick it up a little bit more, but this did give me kind of a sour pink rose opening. And very fresh, musky, and citrusy. But then as this dries down, I don't know if there's vanilla in here, but when this dried down, I'm like, this smells like something I have. And the more and more I kept sniffing it, I'm like, it smells like Mont Blanc signature. I was so happy that I picked it up before I went to Fragrantica, but sure enough, when I went to Fragrantica, people were comparing this to Mont Blanc signature, but this one got a little suffocating. Like in the dry down, it was a little too much. Now I will say that I oversprayed it, so I do have to play with it a little bit more. And I'll check back. I am going to be doing the shoes very soon. I'm going to be doing a line review, so I will discuss this one in more detail. But again, this is Carolina Herrera's Good Girl Blush. Okay, then next we have the Discovery Kit from Carolina Herrera, and this is a Lucky Charms. And I am going to be doing a house review or a line review. So that's going to be coming out probably a week after I post this video. So I'll go over this line in more detail, but I kind of wanted to give you guys a sneak peek. I've gone through Lucky Charm, Fearless Fabulous, and Alegría de Vivir. But again, this is the Lucky Charms collection by Carolina Herrera. Hey guys, me again. So first, I'm gonna go over two that I've already talked about. So the first one being the new Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato 33. I have a review on this one and Miu Miu, so if you want more details, go ahead and check out that video. But there's a lot of notes in this fragrance, but it's blended very well that I don't get a lot of the notes. I do get something fresh in the opening. It doesn't come off overly citrus. I do get kind of a soapy jasmine, and then this settles to be just a very creamy, fluffy, airy scent. I think it's going to be really nice for warmer weather, and it was something that was a like turned into a love. I was sent Kayali Pistachio Gelato, and if you want more on this fragrance, check out my video. Then next we have Miu Miu. This was a love at first sniff. This is your mango lactonic tropical drink, where that one's creamy, fluffy, airy, like think of whipped cream. This is more lactonic. Not a thick mango smoothie. To me, it's more of a lactonic kind of mango drink. This one's beautiful for a vacation. I will say that I wish I got the larger bottle because I don't notice this one after a couple of hours. I've only spent 2 days with this one, so I gotta spend a little bit more, but I think it disappears. All right, then next we have Versace's Dylan Purple. And this one, I don't want to say it was a disappointment. It's just redundant. But out of the fragrance that this falls in the same family, this one is my favorite. So if you have Ariana Grande's God is a Woman, Radiant Nectar by Clean Reserve, or even Burberry Her the Eau de Toilette, I would say more Radiant Nectar and God is a Woman. Then you have this one, but this one's fruitier and more shampoo-y to my nose. Like, I like that this one's fruitier. Those are definitely more pear fragrances. This one's like a mix of fruit, but the pear's in there as well. It's more shampoo-y, clean, and just a perfect easy reach. But I've only spent one day with this one and I felt like the performance wasn't there. So I'm gonna check back with this one, but I do enjoy this scent. And even though it's redundant, it's one that I think I would almost revisit the ones I have, because I really do enjoy the opening of this fragrance and I like the fruity top. I just don't care for the performance on initial spray. So I'm gonna follow this one up, but again, that's Versace's Dylan Purple. All right, and then before we go into my travel, I got Sol de Janeiro's Rio Radiance, and this was a letdown. Only because my friend Rebecca tried it and she said it smells like tan lines, and I hung on to hope that maybe I'd get tan lines, but maybe something else. But I did feel like, wait a minute, no, this smells like tan lines. But I do want to do a side-by-side comparison, so I gotta follow those up. But this is the new Rio Radiance, and it does smell like tan lines, which is the one that the limited edition that came out in their pink bottle. So I'll have to follow this up. I wasn't planning on picking this scent up because even though I love my cheesy bottles, I wasn't crazy about this bottle, but I saw this adorable set at Sephora where you get the travel, so I was like, oh well, I get to try it. And then you got this adorable little robot. How cute is this? But this scent surprised me. This is another tropical vacation. This is another mango scent. This one has vanilla. Maybe it's the vanilla with the mango. There's sandalwood, so there's something creamy and woody about this one. Ali Benham, jasmine. And then Ali Benham is kind of a woody, spicy fragrance with fruity top notes. This is another tropical scent. If you are going away this summer, I would check out Fame and Miu Miu. And if you don't want this bottle, even though I'm seriously considering buying a 50 ml, then just pick up a travel, because this one's gorgeous. And I will say that this one projects. Dennis pointed this one out and said he liked it. So Paco Rabanne fragrances, they do perform well in my opinion of the ones that I've tried. So that's definitely one I'm really happy with, and I might get a larger bottle. All right, and then last, what I've been waiting to talk about, but we have here Vallejo by Parfum de Mali. And I know it's being washed out by the ring light, but oh my goodness. For Valentine's Day, Dennis surprised me with Tiffany and Company's Rose Gold. It came beautifully packaged, and he's like, if you have the perfume, I'd rather you return that fragrance and just get something you want. So I opened it, and unfortunately I already had it. So I told him, well, there's a perfume that I want that's very expensive, but I want to test it out first. So we went the following weekend to Nordstrom, and I sprayed this scent down my arm. And I remember the girl was like, you don't need to do that, it performs. But I couldn't smell it. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna walk around and I'll come back. They didn't have the fragrance in stock. Bloomingdale's did. So then I tested out Vallejo again. I don't know if it was the bottle, but the second time I could smell it. And it was this beautiful citrusy, orange blossom, musky fragrance. Now I was scared to blind buy this fragrance because I blind bought Oriana. And that was one fragrance that did not work out for me. She was an expensive mistake. She was an orange blossom bomb. Now, people were saying that this smelled like Oriana, and I would have to disagree. I get the orange blossom, but this is not that kind of creamy, chantilly sweet. That had a little too much going on to it. This is more my kind of fragrance. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people who love Oriana, they love orange blossom, they love chantilly. I get that. The orange blossom in here isn't sugary sweet, and this one is more fresh and reminds me of the color white. Like, I think the bottle, the tassel is perfect. This scent, Nuda Veritas, Prada La Femme, and Jasmine Marzipan, those are like white fragrances to me. They just evoke that feeling of clean and like white sheets or a white dress. They have that kind of feeling to it. So I wasn't sure yet. I still wanted to play with it because when I had Dennis smell me, he's like, I don't really smell it that much and it's kind of expensive. So then we went about our day, we walked around the mall, and then we went to go eat. But as we were eating, I kept smelling Vallejo. I just kept getting wafts of it and it was beautiful. And I mean, I'm getting wafts of it now, even though I sprayed Marc Jacobs. This fragrance performs. This is one that, again, when I first tried it, I went nose blind for the first hour or two, and then I keep getting wafts of it. This is kind of your fresh, citrusy musk scent. So I told Dennis I wanted it, but I wanted to find it somewhere cheaper. So I found it at Harrods, almost 100 off, because remember, it was $3.55 plus tax. At Harrods, it was the price of the fragrance, $45 for shipping, and there was no tax. So it came up to about $280. Plus, Dennis sent me the $160 from Tiffany's Rose Gold, so I didn't have to put in much. So I'm super happy to have this one in my collection. She is going to be my birthday scent. She is a perfect spring summer fragrance. Fresh, musky, citrusy, white floral. That's what you get. I am super happy to have this one in my collection. I know this one's gonna get used. I love the scent of this one. It's just clean, chic, and put together. Very expensive. This smells expensive. But again, I would suggest you get it at a discounter. So again, that is Parfum de Malise Vallejo. So that is my birthday perfume haul. Let me know in the comments below, do you guys have any of these fragrances and what are your thoughts on them? But that will do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.